If you're tired of being that girl that needs help with her makeup before an event or on a trip, don't go nowhere, girl. Keep watching.
Changes inevitable.
We're gonna go in with the Fluff and Fix Sephora Collection Brow Wax. Now, some of you may not be a brow wax or laminated brow girly, but that is okay. However, if you are a brow wax girly like me, we're gonna take a lot of that product and we're gonna brush it through our brows. You can see me brushing in the opposite direction that my hair is falling because I just wanna make sure this product is all the way through. And then we're gonna take this spoolie and we're going to brush upwards. That way our hairs are standing up so we can get that nice fluffy brow. So after we brush this up, we are going to brush going this way and brush the hairs down, or back I should say. Now we're just going to press in that product on our brows to make sure it is laid flat before we go in with our brow pencil. All right, now that our brows are laying down, I'm gonna go in with the Kiss New York Professional's Fine Precision Brow Pencil. So you're gonna start by drawing a line at the very front of your brows, not heavy-handed though. And you're just gonna follow your brow shape all the way to the tip, meaning the end of your brow. Now, essentially the same thing you did to the bottom, you're gonna do to the top. And you're gonna follow your natural brow shape all the way to the tip and connect the tail points. Now that we have that, before we fill in anything, we're gonna take this brow pencil with hair-like strokes. We're going to lightly flick upwards and fill in the front of our brow. And wherever your hair is sparse or there's no hair at, I want you to focus there too, mainly, so that way they look full. So like here's a spot for me that doesn't have any hairs. Mine are primarily at the bottom, and we're using hair-like strokes to fill them in. The tails of my brows specifically don't have a lot of hair, so I like to go a little bit more heavier handed and making sure it's slightly darker than the rest. Now that we have our brows done, we're gonna take that spoolie in the front, light hand again, and brush the hairs upward to start blending out the front part, because the front part you want that gradient. And then we're gonna follow the hair downward. Doing this just helps you brush the hairs in place again and see where you might need to go in and fill in some more with this brow pencil. Great, now it's time for concealer. So I'm gonna go in with the Sephora Best Skin Ever Concealer. This is in the shade 34.5N. So a tip I will give you, if you don't intend on doing eyeshadow or anything on your eyes, just use your foundation. But you don't need a lot of it because you're literally just using this to clean up your brows. I would recommend that you go in with a small flathead brush. That way it's easier to guide the product under your brow. Because literally what you're gonna do, you don't wanna run this product into the actual brow product. But what you wanna do is carve out your brow. So I like to place it below the brow line first. And then I'll take whatever product is left over and start bringing it up towards the brow. That way it's not too product heavy. Now this is called brow carving. If you want more of an arch, you can take the product up into the brow product itself. Just don't overdo it because your hairs will start peeking out of that concealer and it will look messy. But you want to take it all the way to the tip of that brow, like so, and just start dragging this product down so that way it makes for an even application for your brows. So it should look like that. Now, if you feel like your brows aren't even, simple trick, create the unibrow with concealer. So what you're gonna do is connect the top of these lines where the concealer starts with the other side, and that'll tell you how far your concealer may need to come up on the other side to at least make them as symmetrical and even as possible. Next up, I'm gonna go into my foundation, and I'm only gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna start in the middle because this product is full coverage and we don't need too much of it getting on our brows. Same thing we did to the bottom, we're gonna do to the top. Now we're going to take a brush to blend that out. You should always start with the darker shade up top because you don't want to carry that lighter concealer up there, only because it'll give you halo brow. If you know from 2016 what that is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you don't, it's just going to give you like this weird halo effect, halo glow look around your brows. And you don't want that because you want these brows to look seamless and literally like you just went and got them done. And you're going to go in between your brows and slightly into that fade in the front just to help that fade out a little bit more. And now whatever you have left over, you can take that right underneath to that concealer. It does not matter if you have oily skin, you still need to hydrate. Now, a good recommendation for my oily skin girls is the CeraVe Oil Control Moisturizing Gel Cream. What this moisturizer does is it literally controls the excess oils in your face while leaving your face still feeling hydrated and moisturized. So you don't have to worry about this being like, oh, this is a gel cream that dries you out. No. It still moisturizes, it just controls how much your face secretes the oils. And I really like to work this in by my nose because my nose tends to get oily very, very quickly. Now that your moisturizer is on, be sure to let that sit for about a good 5 minutes or so before you actually go into putting on your makeup, because you want this makeup to really melt into your skin. In order to do that, you need to let your moisturizer do its job, because if you don't, it's just gonna slide right off. And after you let that sit, we're gonna go in with our primer now. I'm specifically gonna use the e.l.f. Matte Power Grip Primer. I love using this specific primer because it literally clings to the makeup and it makes my makeup last all day. Skin prep is very, very important before you lay that foundation down for your makeup, in a literal sense and a figuratively speaking sense. Also, make sure that your products are compatible with each other before you put them on, because there's no sense in putting on a product that is water-based, but you're using a silicone primer. It's literally oil and water. They don't mix. Next up, we're gonna go with our foundation. I recommend, highly recommend, especially for my women of color, that foundation needs to match your chest and your neck, okay? Now, I have seen some women who do have hyperpigmentation, or like their neck, their face, and their chest are different colors. I will always recommend matching that foundation to your chest, because if you have on a shirt that reveals your cleavage in any way and your face is a different color from your chest, it's gonna look like you have on a mask, and you're gonna be like, why doesn't my makeup look right? Because it's not your skin tone, friend. Also, if you're going to use a full coverage product, you don't have to use 85 billion pumps. And I mean that, friend. Realistically, 2 pumps goes a long way. Put it on the back of your hand, work that product into the brush, and put it all over your face. And as you can see, we are fully covered. There is no need to go back in with any more makeup. Next up is our concealer. So we just used this concealer. So this is the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer. Now, friend, again, you don't have to go in so heavy-handed with your concealer. I'm gonna literally show you. We're dipping it in, taking it out. We're gonna put some on the inner corner of our eye. You don't need a lot. You're gonna go over here and do the same thing. We're gonna take it up on the side. So if you want a lifted look, I do recommend doing this particular placement. I sweat on my top lip, so I'm not gonna put any products there. So that's another thing I do recommend if you are doing your makeup. If you have an area that tends to overproduce oils or you sweat there, don't put a lot of makeup there. And we're gonna take some down the bridge of our nose just for a nice highlight. Now, if you're anything like me and you like a bright under eye, especially if you're a mom, a working woman, and you just need a little bit more, you know, brightness under there so you can hide these designer mommy bags, then we're gonna go in with the brighter one. This is Sephora Best Skin Ever Concealer again, but this is in the shade 22.5. And you only need a little bit. Literally just tap her in on the inner corners like so. No need to go heavy-handed. The best way to get the most out of your concealer too is to let it sit for a bit before you actually go in to blend it out. What you want to do, grab your setting spray. I have the L'Oreal Infallible Setting Mist. Spray your face before you go to blending too, because this also helps with getting a seamless blend. But at least let your concealer sit for about a good 30 seconds before you go to blend her out. Now, if you're a sponge girly, before you blend out that makeup, make sure that sponge is damp, not soaking wet, not dry, but damp. Even spray it with your setting spray if you have to. And what we're gonna do first is blend out the deeper shade first with a very light hand. Anything you do with makeup is meant to have a light hand. You're not supposed to go in and dig into that makeup, because all you're doing is moving product around, and that's how you get separate spots, and you don't want that. You want to keep everything exactly where you placed it. So now we have a nice highlight on the chin. We're going to go up to that forehead now, and we're blending out the edges first. We're not just going straight into the middle of that product. We're blending out the edges first. And we're going to take it down that brow bone, we're going to take it down our nose. You want to keep this diagonally or parallel, I guess that's the word, to your eye, especially if you're wanting that lifted look. And as you can see now, we're pulling our face upward. Now to go in. Now don't go straight into this concealer where it's lighter at, because you're just gonna drag all of that out, and now you're gonna have flashback in your makeup, and you don't want that. Start with that deeper shade first and bring her underneath that eye. You need to look up because there's naturally fine lines underneath your eye, and you wanna make sure you're getting some product into that. That way we can get the smoothest finish under our eyes possible. Now we can go into that lighter shade and bring her under the eye. And you can even bring her on top of your lid if it makes it easier easier for you to blend everything out that way. In the corner of our nose too, down a little bit. And what you're doing now with this concealer too, guiding it down your nose like that, is you're literally snatching your nose in the process. I can't believe it's getting this dark outside. It's about to rain, guys. It's about to get real ugly outside. So because I kind of want like a bronzy look with my blush, I'm actually gonna take this red, this orangey red, auburn red, and I'm gonna put it at the highest point of my cheek. And then now I'm actually gonna take this deeper red right here too, and put it at the ball point of my cheek and bring it over. Now what this does is create a beautiful gradient in that blush. And like Painted by Esther said, realistically, to get the most out of your blush experience, you need to be working with at least 2 blush shades. And also, I would say go ahead and marry her into that concealer, just because anything we're doing, we want to marry it. We don't want anything to look separate in our makeup. We don't want to like we just place stuff on top. Now for our bronzer, same palette. I'm gonna go with a deeper shade, and I'm gonna go in with a more tapered, angled brush. We're gonna tap, and we're not gonna drag her down. You actually need to put her above that divot in your face, because if you put it below, it's gonna be muddied into that foundation. So you wanna place that bronzer or contour shade above that area and keep it right here. We don't wanna drag it down because we don't want 5 o'clock shadow. We're gonna keep everything centralized here. And what this does is it keeps our face lifted. And whatever's left over, you can actually put that right in the groove of your nose and where your eye is, just to add some dimension between that, really deepen that socket realistically. Grab that setting spray again. With whatever was left over on that makeup brush, start marrying everything together again. Nothing needs to look separate. We want everything to look cohesive. We're gonna go in with the e.l.f. HD translucent powder. I like using this because it's very, very sheer and very, very lightweight, and it's easy to work with. So if you're scared of the L'Oreals and the beauty bakeries and stuff like that, this is your go-to. But before you do that, look up, blend underneath your eye again to make sure that none of that makeup set into fine lines, because we want everything to be smooth. But however, let's be so for real here. Fine lines, texture, and all that is very, very normal in makeup. Your makeup is only as good as the skin is underneath it, okay? So now that we have that on there, we're gonna take some on our brush, beauty blender, whatever tool you're using. Don't go to apply it right to your face right now, friend. Just wait. Take it and rub it on the back of your hand. You see all that product that just came off? You was about to apply all of that to your face. No. We wanna rub it on the back of our hand, make sure it's a nice even coat first, and even tap off the excess. That's a lot of product. I can literally go back into that and reapply my setting powder elsewhere. So we're gonna look up and lightly tap everywhere we put concealer, and I'll even say anywhere we put that liquid blush and bronzer. That's just to go ahead and set that makeup in place. We're gonna go right back into that because that's a lot of product. And the key to blending out your translucent powder is keep tapping that brush onto that makeup until that powder disappears. That's how you know you really pressed it in to your skin. It's melted. Going on the lids too right now, simply because we did put makeup there. If you didn't, you don't have to do that. Unless you have oily lids, then you can go ahead and do that. Now that that's set, we're actually going to go in with our blush. I would opt in for something more of like a bronzy blush or something deeper like this if you want a natural looking blush. We're gonna take this big old beautiful Morphe brush. I couldn't tell you what kind of brush. It actually is a blush brush. It's just really big and it's good with diffusing. We're going to 1, 2, because it's very pigmented. In the same place we put our cream blush at is where we want to place our powder blush. We don't want to drop it lower because then you're dissipating that bronzer shade. And we're just tapping. And as you can see, nice and soft blush. Same thing on this side. Now we're gonna take our bronzer. I'm gonna go into the Juvia's Place Bronzed Tan palette. I'm gonna go in with this deeper shade at the bottom with another angled brush. And same place we put that bronzer at, keep it there. Lightly like circle this onto your face. I'm not jabbing it on. I'm literally flicking it upwards so that way we can have that lifted look still. And we're keeping that bronzer centralized right there. See that? Nice lifted cheekbones. Same thing again right here. We're gonna take whatever's left over on the nose and on the inside right here. This is what a powdered foundation is for. This is how you get that filtered look. We're gonna take our foundation brush, tap, and go right under where we put our bronzer at. This will help give you that filtered, flawless, silky finish that almost looks like the girlies are having like a filter on their makeup. You don't have to do this step, but if you do want to take your makeup up a notch, but you don't want to do any eyeshadow or something like that, just take a nice deep brown eyeliner or black, and we're gonna go on our eyeline, like literally where our lashes are, and place that liner. This will give you a nice sultry deep look without even trying. Can you guys see the difference? How it's deeper over here now versus over here? Like it even made my eyes smaller and lifted. Thin layer going across the waterline. I love using these 12-hour retractable liners by Sephora Collection because they're so smooth. Now for mascara. This is a Sephora Collection Size Up Volumizing Mascara. If you're not a lash girly, after you do your mascara, you can really stop here. But because I'm a lash girl, I'm also gonna show you guys how to put that on. We're gonna take our lash glue. This is the Super Strong Lash Couture Clear Transparent Strip Lash Glue Adhesive. And we're going to apply it like it's eyeliner, starting from the inner corners of our eye, working all the way out to the outer corner. And we're just gonna let that dry down clear. So we can actually move on to our lips while that's drying down. Honestly, your lips, you know your favorite lip combo. Go in with your favorite brown lip liner or whatever lip liner you use. This one is a Ruby Kisses Cosmetics Lip Pumping Lip Liner. This is in the shade Pure Brown or Nude Brown. And because eye top lip tends to be non-existent whenever I smile, I am going to overline. I will also note that this is a very, very spicy lip liner. I have not gotten used to it yet. I don't know when I will, but girl, she's intense. Cool, now that that's up, we're gonna go into the Maybelline Super Stay Teddy Tint. This is in the shade Soft Era. I love this because she's just like a natural lip color cream. We're just gonna swipe her on. You can go over that darker lip liner. I like this just because it gives me like a natural lip pout look. Now back to our lashes. We are going to take our lash extension with some tweezers. We're gonna take a mirror. We're gonna hold that underneath our chin for a reason, because we wanna make sure we sit this lash on that lash glue, and you're literally just going to stick that lash into place. It shouldn't be much work to do. It shouldn't be a hassle getting your lashes on. It should stick right into place once you put her on that lash line. We're grabbing in the center of the lash with some tweezers, holding this below our chin, sticking that right on that lash glue. And just like that, our lashes are on. You did it, friend. And we're gonna go in with our lip gloss now to finish out the lip look. This is just a regular old lip oil, to be honest with you. You can go in with whatever lip gloss you want to complete the look. I haven't needed a clear lip gloss for a while, so I'm gonna go in with the lip oil. And we're gonna set our face one more time frame, because why not? This time, don't open your eyes too fast, because that setting mist ain't no joke. Now, if you found this video super duper helpful and now you feel so confident in doing your own makeup, please give your girl a thumbs up. Comment down below what helped you, what you were missing. Let me know how this video helped you and share it with the next person, so that way we can all be self-sufficient when it comes to doing our makeup. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe in its entirety. Become a homegirl, because we will be learning more makeup techniques, especially for this upcoming holiday season, or for people that just want to learn how to do prom makeup, wedding makeup, whatever. I got you. Do not forget to subscribe. That is your reason to right there. I will be posting the next video next Sunday at 10 a.m. So hit that bell so you can be notified and not miss any future uploads. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, and I will see you Sunday. Bye, girl.